There I am. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining me this morning. Man, other crazy episodes in our world today. Holy crapola. Let's look at the astrological weather first. Let's do that. Hello, everybody. So, for those who are joining me for the first time, thank you very much. My name is Mary Jane Tracy, and I'm a spiritual love of life coach, bringing you the 411 of the craziness of the astrology today in the world. I mean, I have a very crazy, dark sense of humor sometimes. Um, some of the things I was reading today, and I just have to share because, before I get into these, because this is kind of what I'm reading and what's coming out is kind of the same. Hey, Ella! Ah! Oh, so some of the things that just sort of make you just sort of like, what the heck is going on? Okay. So first of all, this one really got me. This one, okay, a woman, a woman who says she married a ghost is getting a divorce now. Yes, from the said ghost. She said she didn't like the messages he was sending her, which gives a whole new meaning to the term ghosting. You can't make that shit up. Like that's as good as the woman who decided to marry her fence because she felt like there was a bond between her and the fence. So she married she wanted to take it and she wanted to marry her to marry her fence. Well, this woman married a ghost. So luckily the ghost didn't she didn't get pregnant or anything because that would have been, a whole nother case. TikTok. Now, I don't know if you've listened to me before and some of the things I've mentioned about X marks the spot, and X popping up, and now Twitter has just changed their name to X. I think that's kind of hilarious. And I feel like I'm a newscaster right now, just telling you and going through the news. But Russia has banned sex changes and medical interventions on medical grounds and self ID gender. There was a woman in the New York that I saw on TikTok. She was going through the subway in New York, and there's posters on transgenders and pan and everything. Posted like some of them are quite explicit on the subway, and she just freaked out. Like she just said, this, she's they're filming it. She goes, "This is propaganda. They're trying to normalize this to make it normal for everybody." And trying to brainwash your children. And she took down all the posters, and then then all of a sudden other people saw her doing it. They got up and they started pulling the posters down as well. So in Russia, the procedure will only be allowed for children who have given who have organ deformities. So that's what's happening in Russia. Russia is not allowing some of this craziness to be happening, and propaganda to be put on to their children. So this is, yeah. This one kind of made me chuckle. Okay, it's morbid, but it made me chuckle. And this has to do with Taiwan, and 9 people were injured. I feel for there to be injured, but they're simulating a war with China. Okay, they got injured during a simulation. Now, most of the guys that I know that are in the military, when they're doing simulations, it's real bullets, man. It's real bombs, and these guys got their hands blown off in this, and that's what would happen if you're in a war with China, right? So I don't know, just things like that. But anyways, the other one that I thought was kind of funny was the US says it's going to stop most unannounced IRS home visits. So it's like they go around and they say, but not for you. We're going to show up on your doorstep anyways. I don't. So those are the kind of things that are going on in the world right now, and they kind of make you sort of go, what the heck? It's just getting crazier. The other thing is, I've been listening to a lot to do with climate change and issues around climate change and what climate change is, and all of that. Um, it's some of the things, especially what they're promoting about the heat and everything about the heat. Everything's so hot. Greece is so hot. Greece is hot every year. You know, I remember uh, reading about this like years ago how hot Greece is, and even tourists they're saying for tourism not to come, in the height of summer because it's so hot, to make sure that you plan your trip, maybe later on in the year when the heat isn't as intense, because it seems to, temperatures can get up to 45 degrees if you're visiting any of the I was going to say sacred sites, but any of the temples and stuff that are there. And they're right now how they're gauging the temperature is by satellite imagery, but the satellite imagery is on the ground, right? So they're taking the satellite imagery of the ground, and they're of what the ground temperature is, right? That's not the temperature. When you do weather and you do the temperature, it's the air. And the air temperature has been constantly the same. It's been hot, it's been 35, it's been 40 degrees. Those are temperatures that I have always known to be average, yes, in Spain and in other countries. When you're going into the Mediterranean's hot. Like, it's not like you're going to get a 22 degrees during the summer. If you do, then I'd be more, a little bit more worried, right? Um, so, so that's the other thing that I thought was crazy about the climate change, with that. And how they're, again, it's a promotion, it's a push, it's where they're wanting to make you fearful, and they're wanting to get you to a point, well, don't travel, don't go to Greece because it's so hot, and the fires. And now they found out, the government issued a statement, and saying that the fires were arson, started by arson. There's fires every year. I lived in the Okanagan Valley. There's freaking fires every year, and some of them are arson, some of them are lightning strikes. Uh, but it's to do with how our society's growing, and really not taking care of the timber, of the forests. And it's so important to have people, to have arborists to go in there to be able to take care of the forest, to take away some of the old dry timber that's just sort of laying on the ground that could actually cause a worse fire, right? We're not in the process of how the Native Americans, if a forest fire, well, that was very natural, just let it burn out kind of thing. We're not we don't live in that society anymore. We live in a society where we will put the fire out because there are houses there. People build houses right in the middle of the forest, right? In Penticton, you go up Carmi, an area in Penticton. People are going all the way up to the mountains, and that's where there's been huge fires and, like, craziness. So all of this, the propaganda, everything that's coming in at you, this is really can make you go stir crazy, right? And this is where, when I'm looking at the powerful energies that are coming in, uh, where you could get really steamrolled, right? And you can get wrapped up with all of this craziness and this energies that are coming, this propaganda that's being fed to you, and still trying to get you into a fear mode in some way. And we have to really, look at, taking a look at the scenarios, and what action do we have to take, and where we need to back off, and to try and make sense of all this. I find it kind of hilarious. Mercury's going up to meet Venus tomorrow, and that's where the government's coming out with all the UFO stuff. I think that's kind of hilarious. It's I don't I believe in extraterrestrials. I really do. I just don't believe the government in all their bullshit that they just, yeah, just don't believe it all. So, but we have to pay attention to a lot that's happening right now, and some of it, could be too dramatic or too tough. So, watch out for the things that are really too dramatic that are happening right now, because there is a lot of retrograde energy. and we do have, with the 4 planets retrograding at this time, but we do have the sun in Leo. I mean, the sun is like happy right now. So the sun is in a happy place. So it's like that one video I see of the dog going, do, happy, 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 happy. And it's just all dancing away. So the sun, that's what the sun's doing. The sun's just happy. It's in a great spot. It's like, when you look at the energy force of it, it is at a +8, which is actually very good. It is the one who's leading all the action within the world at this time, and this is where we have to go to. We have to go to the sun. We have to go into this beautiful energy because it's exalted right now, and we have to look for creative ways and looking at how we can do creativeness within our life. Right? Just had a rain shower. Now it's sunny. Ooh, nice, Lexi. Ooh, love it. It's not going to rain. Oh, it might rain here later. So this is where, when we're looking at, what we want to do creatively. I'm going to see the sun moved. See, sun. So now I'm going to move because I don't want the sun facing right down on me. There we go. And you can see me a wee bit better because I'm outside. This is where we have to play it. Allow ourselves to go out to play. We have to balance. There's a lot more that we're going to have to balance within our life. And this is, I just feel like it's we got to play with this. We got to play a little bit. And today, to allow things to play itself out as well. Don't try and go overly and try and fix everything. If you're going to try and fix everything or make sure everything's going to work, you're going to find it it's not going to work, or you're going to find yourself extremely frustrated. So, because there's a lot of fixed energy that's being built up right now, and with this, this is coming up where things are going to get a little bit too extreme because it's fixed. So fixed energies are Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, Taurus. Those are fixed energies and they're very hard to move. It takes a while to move, a cow. It takes a while to move a Scorpio. You're not going to go up and sort of push a Leo and say, or push a lion and say, come on, let's get going. So there is a lot of buildup with this energy. So this is where you really have to, watch. Don't be too over dramatic. There are going to be some drama queens out there that are going to play on this drama. They're going to play it up. And it's like, why go into the drama? Just let them have their tantrum and walk away. Don't feed into that drama, man. Don't feed into it because it's just going to get you riled up, and you got to look at your own risk assessment. So look at the risks. Is this what's happening? Is this what I need to step into? Is this what I need to be going forth? Is that what I want to have around me? And if the answer is yes, well, then you got to look at what's the takeaway from it. What is that going to be the takeaway for you? And this is where the bigger than, a lot of things are going to be bigger than what we think they are. So especially out in the out there in the world. I'm going like out there in the world. Here we have our little world here, but out, in out there in the Muggle world, things are going to get a little bit really extreme. It's going to get a little bit crazy, and we're going to start seeing more of that critical mass come forward and start to hit. This is emotional. This world is becoming an extroverted world. That means that there is energy, that energies that are out there, right? So it's an extroverted world. It's not an introverted world right now. It's about us going out, communicating, connecting with people. And that energy is like, it's there's emotional. There's a lot of emotions that people need to feel, people need to look at, because if you're bottling it all up inside, and if you want to hide away, you're going to find that it's going to play out in a way that you don't want it to play out. It's going to be very self-destructive. So we have an energy that's also a push to get us out, to get us all connected, and to begin to communicate, where we have a force that doesn't want us to connect, doesn't want us to come together, wants to keep us separate, right? And in keeping you separate, that means I can control you. It's easy to control, this person, this group, person over here than it is to control a whole mass of people coming together who want to create a better society, to create a better place to live. It's harder to have and control those people. It's harder to control the masses who are wanting to grow their own food in their backyard. Where that's why in some new neighborhoods they're not allowing you to grow a garden. You have to have grass. You can't grow any, you can't have a garden on your front lawn kind of thing. So this is where it's like it's so important to connect, or allow yourself to get out. So it's that, again, it's that risk assessment that is coming forward with everything that is happening right now. So, but some of the news that just came through, it's just, I don't know. It's like the other thing. What was I reading? Is Biden said not. He's sending more tanks and stuff over to Ukraine, and he said to them that, don't use this in. You can't go into Russia's territory with this, and but Ukraine didn't agree to that. It's like, oh my god. What else do we have going on here? It's just, oh my god. And they agree with this guy wearing a green shirt, green t-shirt all the time, doesn't even dress up to go to a meeting. So this morning we have the second of the three T-squares with Pluto, and the third and final one is on Friday. So this is, and this is going to be like coming up. This is tuning points that are going to be arising, an opportunity to deal with karma and grow. Consider yourself attuned to the portals. So there's that's coming in. We have Eris, we have Leo. Mercury and Leo is going to trine with Eris in Aries. So kicking off a series of it's I think it's going to be very positive. Trines are very positive aspects unfolding today. He trines with Eris on Thursday, and he conjoins with Venus retrograde. And early in the Friday morning, he trines the North Node. So Mercury is going to be coming out with a lot of information. He's getting information. He's trying, especially with Eris. Eris is going to talk to him and tell him more about what's going on, the discord and stuff, because that's what she is, the goddess of chaos. So, and Mercury loves gossip. He wants to get all the information because he's going to come up to Venus. And Venus is retrograde right now, so she can't do too much. But he's going to let her know. So there's going to be information that's going to be coming out in the next few days, especially information that's going to have to do not only about the war, but I think there's going to be something that's going to come out to do with health aspects. Things to do with health is going to be coming out on what's going on with our health system. And there is going to be even more coming out about, I think, actually it was just Moderna came out with a 1,700-page document on the shot. So that's pretty crazy. And some of the things that it's revealing that has happened with people who have taken it, even after the first and second. So this is reveal. So Eris is going to be coming up, and she's going to be revealing a lot more of this discord and chaos that's going to come forward. And in her patriarchal myth, she was not invited to the wedding, so it's going to have to do a lot with the patriarchal system as well. So a lot's going to be coming to a head, and a lot more people I think is hopefully going to awaken, but not, I find if people, you can't, I feel like some people, this is now, and I'm going to go on my little rant here, so sorry. Sorry, but not. Those who've gotten the shot, don't use it as an excuse. Oh, I didn't know I had to use it for work. It's like, okay, accept your responsibility. You're the one who signed the fucking note to go and take it. 72%, and that's what it's saying right now. 72% of the world has taken the shot. So 25% of the world was awakened. 25. And this is where things that are coming out for the illnesses. I already said the cancers that are coming out. They're right now when you are if being pregnant, they are monitoring you, and especially near the end of pregnancy, because that's where they're finding that stillbirths are on the rise. And so they're really monitoring the stillbirths, the women near the end. And in some places they're not allowing the woman to go past a week past their due date, because the rate of stillbirths, which is horrific. That's just a horrific thing. um and they're also correlating that to the shot. Yes, there's stillbirths, yes, that this does happen. um but it is something that is not as much as what it has been happening. So we have a lot that's been going on that's being revealed, and a lot of people are like, "Well, we didn't know this would happen. We didn't know," but the information was out there. They just didn't want to look into it. They just didn't want to see it. So I think, with this energies that's coming in, especially Eris, the goddess of discord, and her hatred of the patriarchal system. Uh, she's going to be she's ramping up a lot of this in. And then of course with Pluto in Capricorn, and he's squaring over to the nodes, and the nodes are in Aries and Libra. So when it comes to diplomacy with the north south node, there's not a lot of diplomacy. And with the north node being in a place where it's ruled by Mars, it's a place of war, it's a place of warring energy. And so we have this you know build up of everything that's coming in. And so that's why we have to have healthy ways, or find healthy ways to release this, and release a lot of this pent up energy. And for those who've getting, or who have had this, who've taken it, have to really look at the long term effects of what this is going on in their own life, and how this is going to affect themselves. There's just so many different crazy scenarios that are coming in, because the other part too is a lot of this is dumbing people down, where they're not able to think things through, or they're not going through and thinking things through. So that's another big piece too, is that we're finding a lot of people aren't thinking properly, or thinking, you know um critically thinking. No, I can't even think. I'm thinking critically thinking. So there's so many things that are trying to stop people from making decisions for themselves. Hand it over to whoever, and let somebody else make the decisions for you. So so Eris is very strong today. It's a great time to pull back. She's a great one to pull back the veil and look at what no one is looking at. So starting with yourself, where are the things that you need to start looking at for your own self? Eris is a Wonder Woman, and she can tap into a lot of beautiful things and bring in a lot of beautiful energies for you, and allow you to really tap into this beauty that is there. But she needs you, with that all, you also have to look at the shit that's there as well. So I put up on my thing to buy me a coffee today. So if you want to buy me a coffee, you can buy me a coffee today. That'd be absolutely wonderful. I will never say no to a coffee. So you can buy me a coffee and send it by e-transfer to the Guru Mama at gmail.com. So let's pull some cards. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining me today, coming out. There's a lot more I'd like to say, but I just, I don't want to get more another strike on my YouTube. It's I when it comes to illnesses and that are coming forward, there's going to be a lot more people getting sick. So, and you're going to find it more in your own world, in your own personal world as well. So, and seeing it, and I just feel, if if you did it, you did it. You signed the paper. You got to take the responsibility for it, right? That's the whole thing. Me too, Lexi. I love it when you guys are here. Um, it's I know I said I wouldn't. Oh, get a straight. It's just a frustrating thing, you know, for the reasons why people did it, whether it was to travel, to live the life they wanted to live, to go to the movies, to eat out. And when you think about it, that was your reasonings for doing it. It also comes down to how that was making a separation within the world. How is that was segregating people within the world. And within that segregation, because they can do this, you can't because of this. And it just, yeah, it's just wrong. It's just wrong. Anyways, let's pull some cards. Come on, pull cards, Mary. It's the world card. It's Archangel Michael. So Michael comes in and he wants to let you know that, this is in the tarot, uh, being the last card. This is about looking for your own spiritual growth and insight. This is the journey we are on. And when the world card comes in, that means that there is a new journey that's going to be inevitable and that's going to come through. And we have to take the guidance that we have had and to take the experiences that we have had and do, our risk assessments, looking at things, and where we need to sort of start heading forward with everything. And we got Michael again. So the Five of Swords come in, and this means that there's going to be a release. There's a releasing of things. Things are coming away. And this could, consider taking a more uplifting approach. That's why I'm going to go back to that risk assessment, taking some kind of approach that is more positive for you. And with Michael coming in, so he's letting you also know that you should be protecting yourself and putting your shields up, because even as we are coming into a more extroverted world and wanting to come out and connect with people and build community with people, we still have to have our protection up, because we don't want to overextend our own selves, our own emotional self. And then we have the Seven of Gabriel, having confidence, in who you are, allowing yourself to step in and claim that power that you do have, because it's the Seven of Wands. It's very powerful, knowing that, yes, I am going to rise above the situation. I do have the determination and the knowledge that I have had from my past. I'm going to take that knowledge. I'm going to look through my knowledge, and so that I can really come forward and release what needs to be released, so I'm not hanging on to old static energy that no longer deserves my attention, and taking a new look at things. So the Hangman comes in with Archangel Shamiel. He is the beautiful God, angel that wants to show you the way, and he will show you the way. So he will help you to find the way. If you are feeling lost and you are needing some guidance, Archangel Shamuel will come in and he will help to guide you. He, wants you to dare to be different. Allow yourself to be that unique person, because that's what it's all about. Claiming your powers to be your uniqueness. So be that unique person that you are. I've been feeling that a lot, and what you said is actually coming. Lots of interesting things coming. That's awesome, Mary. Yeah, it is. There's a lot coming forward, and there's a lot more coming forward for us all. The other thing, too, as I said yesterday about stocking up. So don't go and start going crazy shopping, you will start seeing the depletion of rice coming within the next I thought it was 6 months, but now I got 3 to 4 months. So if you haven't stocked up on rice already, start stocking, do your basic stock up on rice and on flour. And then you can, put it in Mylar bags and in proper containers that are food safe grade, food grade safe grade food, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. So you can go to Canadian Superstore. You can get things there. You can go to Canadian Tire is a good place for getting pails and stuff like that if you want to get them, or if you know somebody who has a restaurant and stuff. You just have to, they're usually filled with pickles, so you might want to clean it out. But this is, something to start looking at and stocking up on that, because you're going to see within the next 3 to 4 months, and prices are going to be through the roof. So they're going to be crazy. expensive. So we're probably going to be seeing the doubling of price or more for rice. Doubling of price for rice. There you go. I made a little rhyme. So just letting you know the 411 on that and sending you guys out so much love. Have a fabulous day. It's not going to be as hot today, so that's kind of nice. But yeah, enjoy the day. Have a good one. And if you are wanting to buy me a coffee, buy me a coffee. I never say no to coffee. Bye bye, everybody. See y'all. Bye bye.